Hi everyone, so you can probably see that I've changed my setup. I have in fact moved house. I've moved from Queen's Park to King's Cross and I'm in the entertainment suite of the building that I live in. So I've moved into this quite fancy apartment block which has all these like amazing amenities, and I get to just shoot in the entertainment suite whenever I want to, which is absolutely awesome. Also means that I can have one-on-one coaching sessions with people and it's completely private. So I'm very excited about having moved, which leads me to today's video, which is when to move in with your partner, a checklist. So obviously some people move in with their partners very, very quickly and it all goes amazingly well and they live happily ever after. However, sadly, reality check, most of us don't fall into that group. So I thought we'll have a little checklist, we'll have a chat about this, and I'll talk a little bit about my experience of moving in with my partner. So I've lived with my partner for quite a long time, so this isn't our first move. This is our third move. Oh my gosh. In London, you just like seem to be moving all the time. So sort of like really common to just be moving from place to place and renting. So that's where we're at. It's like when I moved in with my boyfriend, I was still a bit anxious about like, am I doing the right thing? Like what if it goes wrong? And I did give it a reasonable amount of thought. However, I know there are other people who just fall into this situation and dive straight in when they're feeling they're most sort of enamored by their partner. They're so like in love and they move in and then things go a little bit pear-shaped because perhaps they've done it a little bit too quickly. So my first point is to make sure that you wait for the passionate stage of love to have started to decline. So there are two types of love: passionate love and companionate love. Passionate love is the love that gets you going at the start. It's the thing that makes you get involved sexually with your partner. You want to rip each other's clothes off. You can't stop thinking about them. They are your everything. You can't eat very well. You're not sleeping the same. You are obsessed with this person. Companionate love is that sort of, you see those old people and they're like sat on the park bench and they're like just besties for life and they just love each other, but they're not ripping each other's clothes off because, you know, they're 92 and no one wants to, I was gonna say no one wants to see that. Someone probably does. But you know, they are in that stage of lovely companionate love. Now, sadly, passionate love does decline over time, can coexist with passionate love. We're not on that today. We're talking about that today, Abby. So, passionate love will start to decline at 12 to 18 months. So this is the sort of time frame that I want you to minimum wait for before you move in with someone, because I think it's safer. I'm not saying that if you move in after 6 months, oh, you're doomed, it's gonna be awful or anything like that. However, I just am aware that you don't really see your partner for the person that they truly are until passionate love starts to decline. As passionate love starts to decline, companionate love will start to increase over time, and this is the love that keeps you together long term. So we want the passionate love to start going down, we want the companionate love. You know, do you actually like this person? You're not just ripping the clothes off anymore. Do you like them? If it's going up nicely, then you're going to move in with them. I would not move in before 12 to 18 months, personally. My second little checkpoint is to move in together after you have spent a significant amount of one-on-one time together. So this isn't, oh, we've been together for 12 months, but we've only seen each other once a week and, you know, we spend like 4 or 5 hours together. Sometimes she sleeps over. That's sort of the extent of our relationship. I wouldn't move in with someone until I've spent time traveling with them or been on holiday with them for like a week or more. I wouldn't move in with someone who I hadn't been through something with. So you kind of want to have seen your partner at their worst. So you see like what type of person they are as best as possible, and also vice versa, that they can see the type of person that you are, because if you've not spent much one-on-one time together, you might not really have any idea about how well you get on if you're together a lot. So my third point is to move in together after you've talked about your long-term goals for the relationship. So for one of you, it could be that you just think, you know, cheaper rent, less mortgage to have to pay. This is an economically sound idea. Perfect. It's convenient for me. Okay, one of you might be thinking that, but if the other one's thinking this means marriage, this means 3 children, this means we're going to get a dog, a couple of cats, I'm going to have a goldfish. If you're on a completely different train of thought to your partner, this is going to be a bit of a disaster if you move in together. So just have a conversation with them before you move in together. If you're sat there thinking, I don't want to talk about that with them, like I don't feel comfortable, I don't think it's time for that, I don't think we should talk about that sort of thing yet, don't move in together, because if you can't talk about those things, you shouldn't be moving in with each other, because it is a commitment. My 4th point is to move in together after you've talked about your values around money. Money is the #1 cause of conflict in marriages in the United States of America, and probably everywhere else as well. So ultimately, money causes great deals of issues for people. Having a conversation with your partner about how you're going to split the bills, how they like to spend their money, what kind of things they like to spend their money on. Once you've sussed those things out, you have a better gauge on whether you're a good match with each other. There's no point in moving in with someone if you're gonna have anxiety about how much money they spend, and you're sat there wanting to save money for the future and they just want to go and buy handbags. This is probably going to cause massive conflict. So it's better to know how you're going to split bills, whether you're going to have a joint bank account, all of those sorts of things before you move in together. My 5th point is to move in together after you've met each other's families. If neither of you have met each other's families and you've been together for a year, this is quite unusual and a little bit of a red flag. Every situation is going to be different, and there will be situations where, you know, they don't have a family, or they've explained to you the situation with their family and you're comfortable with it. However, if you're sat there thinking, I've not met his mum yet and I want to meet his mum, this is really strange, do not move in with that person. Don't move in with someone if you feel like there are tons of areas of their lives that they're keeping as a bit of a secret. If you feel like someone's keeping secrets from you and it's backed by, you know, I've not met his family, I don't really know his friends, definitely don't move in just yet, and go to that person and say, you know, before we move in together, I think it'd be awesome for me to meet your family. My 6th point is to move in together after you've worked out how you navigate conflict together as a couple. I think it's awesome to have a conversation with someone ahead of having an argument about what your standards are for having arguments, what is and is not acceptable to you, what is and is not healthy to you, and how does your partner feel about that? What are their thoughts on conflict? Couples who have no conflict whatsoever are much more likely to break up over time. So if you're sat there thinking, we've never had an argument, we're really fantastic, we're doing really well, then we don't argue, we're above arguing, not a great sign, and it probably means that one or both of you are not being completely honest about your feelings within that relationship. Or it could be that you haven't really been through anything, or it could be that you haven't really been together for long enough. So if you're in a situation where you don't have any conflict, don't move in together. If you feel that you have unhealthy conflict in your relationship, resolve that before you move in together, because it won't get better by living together. I have done a video on conflict, so I'll pop that in the descriptions box below. Ultimately, it's important that you're true to yourself and your feelings when it comes to making a step like moving in with someone. Don't feel pressurized to move in with someone just because you've been together for a certain period of time, or because your friends are doing it, or because you feel pressure from family or anything like that. However, it's really normal to feel a certain level of fear when it comes to making a commitment. So don't think, oh, I'm feeling a bit anxious about it, therefore it's wrong. Just have a think about it, take your time, weigh up the pros and the cons. It's absolutely fine to feel fear when it comes to moving in with someone, but don't let that fear control you. Thanks so much for watching today. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. If you're interested in one-on-one dating coaching, you can head on over to my website, and you can also find me on social media at Abby Blaze. Bye-bye.